1. Watermelons were once yellow inside. Watermelons are one of the most beloved fruits, particularly during hot summer months. But did you know that the watermelons we consume today, with their vibrant red flesh, are the result of thousands of years of selective breeding? The original wild watermelons found in Africa were quite different from what we see today. These early varieties of watermelon had pale green or yellow flesh instead of the rich red we've grown accustomed to. These wild watermelons were smaller, with seeds that were much larger compared to the ones found in modern cultivars. They were also much less sweet than today's varieties, with a more watery and neutral taste. Selective breeding by farmers led to the development of the red watermelon we know today. This breeding process was aimed at enhancing the sweetness, size, and texture of the fruit, while also reducing the number of seeds. A key factor in this transformation is the pigment lycopene, which is responsible for the red color and is also found in tomatoes and red peppers. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that offers health benefits, including heart health and cancer prevention. The process of transforming watermelons from yellow to red took centuries, as cultivators selected plants with the best qualities to produce the sweetest and most visually appealing varieties. Interestingly, yellow-fleshed watermelon varieties still exist today, and they are often considered a delicacy in some regions. The taste of yellow watermelon is generally milder and less sugary than the red varieties, making it a refreshing option for those who prefer a more subtle flavor. 2. Coffee beans are seeds, not beans. Coffee, one of the most popular beverages worldwide, has a complex botanical origin that many people are unaware of. While we commonly refer to them as coffee beans, these so-called beans are actually the seeds of the coffee cherry, a small fruit that grows on coffee plants. These cherries typically start as green and ripen to shades of red, yellow, or purple, depending on the species of coffee plant. Each coffee cherry contains 2 seeds, which are the familiar coffee beans after they are harvested, processed, and roasted. The coffee cherry is part of a plant's reproductive system, much like how apples or peaches contain seeds in their center. In fact, the coffee seed, bean, is technically a pit, similar to peach or plum pits. After the cherries are picked, they undergo several processing methods to remove the outer layers and extract the coffee beans. Once the beans are separated, they are dried, roasted, and ground to make the coffee we enjoy daily. This knowledge of coffee being a seed, rather than a true bean, emphasizes the fruit's role in the coffee growing process and explains how the plant relies on these seeds to propagate itself. The entire coffee plant life cycle, from the growth of cherries to the processing of seeds, is a highly labor-intensive and delicate process. Furthermore, coffee's unique flavors are influenced not only by the variety of the beans, but also by the climate, soil, and even the altitude at which the coffee is grown. 3. Onions were worshipped in ancient Egypt. Onions, often taken for granted as a staple in kitchens around the world, once held profound symbolic significance. In ancient Egypt, onions were considered sacred and were associated with eternal life. This reverence can be traced back to their circular shape, which the Egyptians believed symbolized the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The layers of the onion were interpreted as representing the eternal layers of existence, further reinforcing its connection to immortality. Onions were not only admired for their symbolism, but they were also highly prized for their practical uses. The ancient Egyptians believed that the strong, pungent aroma of onions had protective qualities and could ward off evil spirits. They were often placed in tombs alongside pharaohs as offerings to ensure safe passage into the afterlife. Some even believed that onions were placed in the tombs to preserve the pharaohs' bodies due to their natural preservative properties. Onions also had medicinal uses in ancient Egypt. They were often used as a remedy for various ailments, including headaches, respiratory issues, and digestive problems. Their anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties made them valuable both in the kitchen and in the medicine cabinet. Over the centuries, onions have remained a symbol of longevity and health in various cultures. 4. Ketchup was once medicine. Ketchup, a condiment widely associated with fast food, has an unexpected history as a medicinal product. In the 1830s, Dr. John Cook Bennett, an American physician, promoted ketchup as a cure for indigestion. He believed that the tomatoes used to make ketchup had healing properties and could help treat a variety of digestive issues. Dr. Bennett even went so far as to create tomato ketchup pills, which were sold to consumers as a cure for constipation and other stomach-related ailments. This idea of ketchup as medicine was part of a broader trend in the 19th century, where many foods and spices were marketed as medicinal remedies. During this period, there was a growing interest in natural remedies, and many doctors believed that everyday foods could hold the key to curing diseases. However, as science and medicine advanced, the idea of ketchup as a therapeutic substance faded, and ketchup became more widely accepted as a condiment. Despite its medical origins, ketchup found its place as a popular and versatile topping for burgers, fries, and countless other dishes. Today, ketchup is a staple in kitchens around the world, enjoyed for its tangy and sweet flavor, but its medicinal past remains an interesting part of its history. Peanuts are not nuts. Although we commonly refer to peanuts as nuts, they are actually legumes, closely related to beans, lentils, and peas. Unlike true nuts, which grow on trees, peanuts grow underground. The peanut plant produces flowers above the ground, but the peanuts themselves develop beneath the soil. After the flowers are pollinated, the plant's flower stems elongate and push the developing peanuts into the ground, where they mature. Peanuts belong to the legume family, which means that they are part of a group of plants that produce seeds in pods. Other legumes such as soybeans, chickpeas, and peas share this characteristic of growing in pods that split open to release their seeds. This underground growth sets peanuts apart from tree nuts, such as almonds, walnuts, and cashews, which are typically harvested from above ground. Despite being legumes, peanuts are often grouped with tree nuts due to their similar taste, texture, and nutritional profile. Peanuts are rich in protein, healthy fats, and various vitamins and minerals, which is why they are a popular snack and ingredient in many foods. The peanut's botanical classification may differ from that of other nuts, but it remains a staple in diets worldwide. 6. Apples float because of air. Apples are 25% air, which is a major reason why they float in water. This air content is trapped within the fruit's cellular structure and contributes to its buoyancy. When you place an apple in water, its air pockets help it stay afloat, unlike denser fruits and vegetables that sink. This floating ability is also why bobbing for apples, an activity where apples are placed in a tub of water and participants try to catch them using only their mouths, works so well. The fact that apples contain so much air is also important from a biological perspective. It helps the seeds within the fruit travel and disperse across wider areas. Apples are typically grown on trees that can be located far apart, and the fruit's buoyancy allows it to float away from the tree and land in new areas, helping to spread the apple plant. The air trapped inside apples is a natural part of their cellular structure, making them lighter than they appear. This unique characteristic of apples is a fascinating example of how nature has evolved to help plants propagate and thrive in various environments. It also highlights the hidden complexity behind the seemingly simple fruit we enjoy every day. 7. Cheese is the most stolen food. Cheese is often found in refrigerators around the world, but it has an interesting reputation that many may not be aware of. It is considered the most stolen food globally. In fact, statistics show that around 4% of all cheese produced worldwide is stolen. This startling fact is due to the high demand for cheese, its relatively high price, and the ease with which it can be stolen. The popularity of cheese in its many varieties contributes to the temptation for theft. Whether in a grocery store or at a food market, cheese is frequently pilfered because of its portability and value. The act of stealing cheese is not only a modern occurrence, it has been documented throughout history. In the 18th and 19th centuries, cheese was considered a valuable commodity, and thieves would often target it because of its weight and the fact that it could be sold easily on the black market. Furthermore, cheese is not only a high-demand product, but also a complex and carefully crafted item. From soft cheeses like brie to hard cheeses such as Parmesan, cheese involves an extensive process that makes it both a delicacy and a luxury. Its high value in stores leads to higher rates of theft. 8. Chocolates were once used as currency. Chocolate in its various forms has become an everyday treat for millions around the globe. However, it wasn't always just a delicious indulgence. The ancient civilizations of Mesoamerica, particularly the Aztecs and the Mayans, held chocolate in very high regard, so much so that they used cacao beans as a form of currency. For the Aztecs, cacao beans were considered so valuable that they were used to pay tribute to rulers and could be exchanged for goods and services. A sack of cacao beans was worth about 100 small fish, while an elite warrior could be paid in cacao beans, demonstrating its significance. In addition to being used as currency, cacao beans were also brewed into a bitter beverage known as chocolatl that was highly regarded among the Aztecs. This drink was often spiced with chili peppers and flavored with vanilla and other ingredients. It was consumed during rituals and ceremonies, and it was believed to have energizing properties, often consumed before battle or major events. The practice of using cacao as currency persisted well into the period of Spanish colonization. When Europeans encountered chocolate in the 16th century, they were introduced to the idea of consuming it as a sweetened beverage rather than the bitter version favored by the Mesoamerican peoples. Eventually, chocolate spread across Europe and transformed into the sugary treat we know and love today, but its origins as a valuable commodity and currency are an essential part of chocolate's rich history. 9. Broccoli contains more protein than steak. When it comes to protein, many people automatically think of meat as the primary source. However, broccoli, a humble green vegetable, is actually packed with more protein per calorie than steak. While steak has a high protein content, it also comes with a significant amount of fat, which means that for the same caloric intake, broccoli provides a higher protein yield. Broccoli, being a member of the cruciferous vegetable family, is rich in amino acids, the building blocks of protein, making it an excellent choice for vegetarians and those looking to cut down on meat consumption. In terms of sheer protein content, broccoli may not be able to match steak gram for gram. However, if you focus on the protein content relative to the number of calories consumed, broccoli becomes a far more efficient source of protein. Moreover, broccoli offers additional health benefits that steak does not, such as being rich in vitamins, minerals, and fiber. This makes it a great choice for people looking to increase their protein intake while also improving their overall nutrition. It's important to note that while broccoli is high in protein for a vegetable, it's not a complete source of protein on its own. For that, it's necessary to combine it with other plant-based protein sources such as beans, legumes, and whole grains. Nevertheless, this vegetable offers an impressive amount of protein compared to other vegetables, making it a great addition to any diet. 10. Potatoes were the first food grown in space. In 1995, NASA, in collaboration with the University of Wisconsin-Madison, embarked on an experiment that would set a new milestone in the history of space exploration. They successfully grew potatoes in space aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia. The experiment, known as the Advanced Life Support System, was part of NASA's effort to develop sustainable food production systems for long-term space missions. Potatoes were chosen because they are rich in nutrients, relatively easy to grow, and adaptable to different environments. Growing food in space is no small feat. The lack of gravity and the limited resources available make it challenging to create the conditions necessary for plant growth. However, the potato experiment proved to be a success, marking the first time that food was grown in space. The experiment was designed to test how plants react to the microgravity conditions of space and to explore the possibilities of growing food for astronauts during extended space missions, such as those to Mars.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more inspiring content. See you in the next one.